Why do you think people are scared of failure?
If it makes us 100 quid, it's made us 100 quid more than it was when it was doing nothing.
We are a bit scared to try things and let things fail, and maybe we hold on to things a little bit too much. If you're going to do it
properly.
And if it don't work, write it off as a mistake. All right, you've spent a bit of money, move on. This is Hospitality Huddles, bringing you the best conversations in hotel food and beverage.
Manage, lead, coach, repeat.
Every time I think of hospitality, I think of friendship. Hospitality allows you to be you.
Welcome to another episode of Hospitality Huddles, and this is the bite-sized episode, and we're here in the Vorbos offices.
Yep.
And we've got this beautiful podcast studio to bring a new level to what we're doing.
Upgrade, mate. Upgrade.
Look
at this.
It's beautiful. Now today,
Go on.
speaking of Vorbos offices that look really beautiful on a podcast situation, I was watching Behind the Diary from Stephen Bartlett. As you know, I've got inspiration on this for Auden.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how in his business they manage and measure failure. And I thought it was a really good topic to talk about, because I think we are a little risk averse in hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
We are a bit scared to try things and let things fail, and maybe we hold on to things a little bit too much. And I thought it was a really interesting topic to talk about in terms of, should we risk more? Should we experiment more? And should we be okay with failure?
All of the above. All of the above. Of course you should risk more. But then I think there's always a time to kind of go from and shoot from the hip. But then there's always also measured risks, where it might be, I don't know, you're filling a space, you want to make it a little concession in a hotel. Let's try it. It's sitting there doing nothing. If it makes us 100 quid, it's made us 100 quid more than it was when it was doing nothing, for example. That's kind of a measured risk. We're going to say limited capex, or can we pull kit from it? Anyway, limited. And what was the third one you said?
I'm not sure, but let's if I had asked you the question, why do you think people are scared of failure?
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's a psychological thing, and it's scared of trying. First time you swim, first time you're traveling on the train by yourself, hundreds of examples. It's fear of failure is not trying. And then most of the time when you do, you're like, oh, it's probably not as bad as it was. I think let's transport that over to F&B or hotel F&B. The dead space, which is just used for stock, but it's possibly prime real estate. Let's try to do a cafe, a little concession, simple counter. Oh yeah, but this, yeah, but that, because it's always been that dead space. So I think, just try it. What you got to lose? Try it.
Do you think people are too worried about? So when it comes to business, I think one of the things that I'm probably most proud of with Auden is that we do try. We do waste money on bits, trying. Sometimes it doesn't always go well. Sometimes things work. We're trying this new thing now where we're going to start doing a bit of vlogging. We've bought the equipment to be able to do it properly, because I'm a big believer in, if you're going to do it
properly.
And if it don't work, write it off as a mistake. All right, you've spent a bit of money, move on. Don't do it above your means. Don't kill your cash flow and all the rest of it, but do it. I guess one of the things is people are worried how much it's going to cost, and is it going to make money, because everyone's going to look at it and go, well, it hasn't made money after 2 or 3 weeks, so why are we bothering carrying on? So I guess, do we give things enough time to work anyway? And then, do we set the expectations properly from the start in terms of being able to sell in what we expect of it, how long it's going to take to get there, and what's the measurement of success and failure at that point where we decide, do we continue or do we fail?
100% agreed. Let's just take that, like, what is that point? That could be the budget, right? That could be we expect to make X, Y, and Z based on market, based on our guest levels, all this sort of stuff. And if at this point it's not there, and the metrics are obviously the revenue how much it's cost to do it. If it's way over and the return doesn't seem to be as much, or the feedback is it's not working, or it might be logistics. It might be too heavy. You just got to decide them things up front. So you're setting that expectation of going, we are expecting a level of failure. We hope it don't, but with the expectation is there. So it's expected or built-in failure level. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. So then you know what your cut-off point is, and then the cost, fear, is for everyone. But sometimes, if you're gonna, you might need a toaster. You're not gonna go and buy one that's gonna cost you £8,000. You go, okay, can we move one from another part of the kitchen or another part of the hotel restaurant, which is dormant or not being used enough? Just think of these things. Start with what you got and start where you are, and see what you can do. Can you move it around? It might take a little bit of physical effort. You may need to get your maintenance team involved a little bit, and that could potentially reduce your upfront costs with 0 to no capex. You may have to buy a few utensils, like a Nisbet's job or whatever. But I think you should look at all of these things, before going, oh no, we need to get the best fridges. You can evolve to that. You can do it in phases. Like you're testing a concept and you're going, oh, yeah, this is really taking off. We're doing £400 a morning when we're only expecting to do 50. Yeah, you can invest a bit more, right?
I think that's the thing as well, though, isn't it? It's if you're going to test an experiment, back to our thing of getting the right equipment to do the video bit properly, you have to invest to a certain point to deliver the quality that's going to give it the opportunity to succeed. If you don't put your best foot forward and it doesn't work, you're always going to go, what if? And I think that's the bit where you've got to do your diligence, you've got to do your research, you've got to develop something that everyone's confident in, and you've got to execute it right, because if you don't, then it is on its way to failure. And I think that's the bit from me. When I look back at maybe some of the bits that we've done over our career, or I've done over my career that maybe has not worked, I look at it sometimes and think, could we have done a little bit more? Could we leave something else on the table? We recently went into a pitch for a project that we've won. I don't think we were the leading contenders from day one. But I was speaking with Richard Liverman about this pitch, and I said to him, as long as you go into this process and put your best foot forwards and don't leave anything on the table, if it doesn't happen, it's not because you haven't tried. So you can never walk away and go, I could have done that better. You can walk away going, we just weren't the right people. And I think, that's the bit. When I talked to Reed about going out and playing football, every single week I said to him, don't leave anything on the pitch. Go out, put your best in. Don't leave anything on the pitch where you come away going, I could have done that better. Just do it. Even if you put something in row Z or miss an opportunity, whatever it might be, you wipe someone out because you thought you could get there and you didn't. Don't leave it on the field. And I think that's so appropriate for when I see things activating in Hotel F&B. It's just not done well first time. I'm going to give you an example of something that's done really well, not something that's done bad. The Mark Hotel in New York. They do New York hot dogs outside on a stand. It's incredible.
Wow.
It's a hot dog. It's a lifestyle 5-star hotel, big energy. They do hot dogs, and it's like a New York hot dog. But the way the stand is done really well. The product looks great. The packaging's amazing. And they're doing an elevated version of a hot dog. But people love it because it is what it is. And I think that's a great... You could have done that really shit with a chafing dish and on a table to see if it worked, and it'd have made no money, and everyone would have gone, see, we told you it wasn't going to work. Or you buy a beautiful hot dog stand that you brand, and you do it properly, you get the right packaging in, and you go from day one, we're going to put all our effort into this. If that then doesn't work and you don't sell a single hot dog because people want to go to the independent guy down the road, you go, okay, we tried. People want the authentic independent guy who's been here for 30 years, but you're never going to know. And I think that's my whole thing around risk and failure is don't leave anything where you can go. It could have worked.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, sometimes it's not quick. Auden at Trinity. They got outside space in Clapham. Last 2 years, it started at COVID. They did Trinity Outside. It's still called Trinity Outside, but they were trying to do a scaled down version of the restaurant outside, whether the kit, the execution was difficult. There was a lot of detail going into it. Then they tried it, a slimmer down version. And then it's like, actually, I'm going to give this to the team. Tell me I want something out there. There's blue sky thinking. And they came up with Trinity Outside, the sandwich truck. And they had to work that out. We covered it in another episode, right? They had to work out what to do, the tills, the process, the production. But it took him 3 seasons, right? Like going back to the Reed and the football analogy, Brentford, slowly building, come up to the league, you know, and now they just sold one of the top players for 70 million. It's taken seasons. Sometimes it's not quick, and you just got to have that patience and go, my risk and reward here, my risk and failure is going to take this much time, and we're going to try it, take it to this level. You may need to go back to go forward again, and that's fine. And I think do it, try it. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast, sometimes expensive, sometimes not so expensive. So it's all there. Just got to do it.
So what if we had to say the takeaways on this, and what can you learn from risk, experimenting, failure? I guess the bit that you said there is about time. I think is a great one in terms of give it the time it needs, whether that's to develop or whether that's to get into a position where it's got the awareness out there. And I think time's a great one. I think the one from me, which is about the quality and put your best foot forwards from the start. Don't treat it like a pop-up, because it'll end up being a pop-up.
Yeah.
Any others that you think you can think about, like some of the bits over the past of? I'll give you an example. We ran a venue, right? And we probably all knew it wasn't the right place to go from the start.
Yeah.
And it was being run, and it was the black sheep of the whole of the company. It was bringing the whole company down, and it probably should have been dispensed of early. But everyone just wanted to, like senior leadership wanted to keep going. They wanted it to work. They kept pushing it. They kept putting it under too much pressure. We put all our focus on the one that wasn't working and ignored the others, which let the others then slip slightly. All for this one, where we should have just called it a day going, we all knew it wasn't going to work. It was a risk. It hasn't worked. It's an expensive write-off, but it should get written off. So I guess you said it before we came on air, but it's don't take too long to say it's not working, right?
100%.
We've just said give it time, but you know, right?
Yes.
You know.
Sometimes it's like, it's all of the above, isn't it? You give it time, sometimes it's got to be quick, sometimes it's got to be slow. Sometimes everyone's going, hang on, there's a lot of flags here from trusted, experienced people, and the learning, we always say you learn. You know what you get from all of this? You get the experience. To go again, maybe in a different situation, in a different setting, and with different people, different idea, you get experience. So like, you're not going to come out with it with zero. It might cost you money, you might lose money, but the experience.
Yeah.
And that one, we all had the experience, and we should have acted quicker.
Yeah. So there we go. We've got give it time.
Give it time.
But not too much time. Go with your gut when you know something isn't working. Don't stick onto it too much for ego. Put your best foot forwards. And don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Just do it.
Try.
You're gonna find out.
You never know. You might be on to the next big thing. All you have to do is try. And that's it. Another episode over. That was a good one.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time. You've been listening to Hospitality Huddles, brought to you by Auden Hospitality. If you want to revisit clips from this or previous episodes, make sure you visit our YouTube channel at Auden Hospitality. Thank you for listening to the show. See you next time.